feeling. When you've been carrying something for so long, you've forgotten what it would feel like to put it down. 3 months, 7 graves, one name you swore not to say out loud. Tonight, that's the man you become. Welcome, friends, both old and new. If this is your first night here, let me tell you what we do. Every video on this channel is one long story told in the first person. You become someone, somewhere, on a particular night. While I tell you that story, I play an atmospheric game in the background, its world matching the tone of what we're telling. You can listen for the story, you can watch the game, you can drift off to sleep with both. However you use this place, you're welcome here. Tonight's world is Crimson Desert. I've followed its lore for a long time, but the game itself, this is my first time playing it. So forgive me if I take a wrong turn, or fight the wrong thing, or miss something obvious. You'll be Cliff, captain of the Greymanes, on the last camp before he reaches Pyloon, the night before the reckoning. Before we begin, if this kind of story keeps you company at night, a subscribe helps me keep telling them. A like helps the next tired listener find this place. Let's take a breath and begin. Tonight, you are Cliff, a captain of the Greymanes. And 3 months ago you watched your brother die, with the words still on his lips. You are sitting by a fire in a small valley, on the southern edge of Pyloon. The night is cold, the fire is small. There are 7 of you around it. 7 men, 7 women. The count is wrong by half tonight. You know it, but you don't say it. You are mourning Jian. But you are not mourning. Mourning is forbidden. Justice has not been paid. So you sit. The fire moves. Nobody speaks. Even the silence is not the right kind of silence. It's the silence of people who have run out of the right words and have not yet found new ones. Your gloves have dried blood on the fingers. Jian's blood from yesterday. You have not washed them. Washing was not part of the count. The count was something else. Giles is across the fire from you. His face turns orange, then dark, then orange again as the flames move. He is about to tell you something. His mouth opens. He takes in air. Cliff, I need to say. Then the sound. One sound, a single short whistle, familiar. The kind of sound a sellsword learns to know in his bones. The sound of an arrow leaving a bowstring. Giles's mouth is still open. The word he was about to say is in the air, half born, half dead. An arrow comes out of his throat. The iron point catches the firelight. The fletching is still trembling. His eyes are looking at you. Still looking at you. The word he was going to say is in his eyes, on his tongue, on his lips, in his throat. But there is no sound. There will not be any sound. One of his hands, Giles's hand, moves to his throat, touches the arrow, then falls. His face tips forward, toward the fire. His hair starts to burn. Then the second arrow, the third, the fourth. From the dark, over the rocks above the valley. They come down like rain. Black bears, archers, 5, 10, who counts? The counting comes later. Right now, only the falling. You're on your feet. Wolf's fang is in your hand. Jian's sword, given to you yesterday. Not yet yours. Not yet anything. Just heavy iron. Onker is roaring across the fire. Not words, just a sound. His huge body is a shadow against the flames. His axe up. An arrow goes into his shoulder. It does not come out. He does not stop. Onker does not stop for arrows. Onker stops for death. Yan is on his feet, drunk but fast. His sword is out. The enemy hasn't shown itself yet. Only their arrows have arrived. But Yan has already drawn. The enemy doesn't have to be visible. The idea of an enemy is enough. Naira is gone. Up the slope, toward higher ground. An archer hunts an archer. Around you, 14 greymanes were sitting at a fire 1 second ago. Now 3 are on the ground. 5 are on their feet. Who is standing? Who is lying? You can't count. The firelight jumps. Your eyes jump from one place to another. Giles has fallen into the fire. His hair is burning. No one can stop that now. Stopping it means dying. 2 men come down from the rocks. Black bears. Their faces are coal black, painted. Their ancestors painted their faces with charcoal before going to war. They still paint them, the last remnant of an old custom. But old customs can still kill you. The first one comes for you, 2-handed axe. You raise Wolf's fang. The first blow lands on iron, a clang, a spark. Your arm rings. Jian's sword is a weight your arm hasn't trained for. 1 night old, 3 days old, not yours yet. Second blow, you move sideways. Third, you find his throat. He goes down. Something hot splashes across your face. The second man is already on you. Yan meets him. Yan is drunk, but Yan is good drunk, maybe his best. He puts the man down. But more are coming. 5, 8, 10. The valley is filling with them. The numbers are wrong. The position is wrong. The night belongs to them. You know this. Your fighter's eye sees it. This is not a night to be won. This is a night to survive. Maybe not even that. A third black bear comes from behind. His axe handle hits your shoulder, not the blade, the haft, a blunt blow. You go to one knee. You try to stand. You can't. For a second, your spine stops being yours. It is just a bone. There's a sound beside you. Yan. He has fallen. Yan's hand is on the dirt. Your hand is on the dirt. 1 step apart. Both of you on the ground. Yan is bleeding. From his hip, from his kidney. You don't know which. Yan is counting, whispering. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't know why he is doing this. Yan's mind must be slipping. Where is Naira? Yan's voice. To you or to himself? You couldn't answer. There was no voice in your throat. Naira was on the slope. Naira was alive. You knew this because Naira's arrows were still landing. The black bears on the rocks above were going down one by one. Without Naira's arrows, you would all stay in this valley. Naira was alive. Maybe the rest of you would also live. Then darkness. Your vision closed. For a second the sounds remained. Yan's counting, Onka's roar, the arrows, the flames. Then the sound left too. In the space between knowing and not knowing, Zhao's unspoken word was still there. It hadn't been born. It hadn't died. It was just there. The scene opens again. Morning. Rain, fine, steady. Mud. Peiloon's southern edge. In the shadow of the mountain foothills. A small clearing. Light from beyond the rocks. Grey, cold. You are on your feet. Wounded, disoriented. But on your feet. You survive the ambush. Naira is coming down from the slope. Bow on her shoulder. Quiver half empty. Onka is on his feet too. The arrow in his shoulder is broken off. The head still inside. But Onka is carrying it, as if nothing on his face has changed. Yan is on his feet, still bleeding but standing. He didn't die. He still doesn't know who he was counting for. But 7 graves. 7 graves are being dug. Marius takes a shovel in his hand. The rain runs down his hair. He hasn't stopped. He has been digging for 3 hours. You wanted to stand and join him. You couldn't, twice. The third time you stood, took a shovel, joined him. You did not speak. Greymane custom. The middle grave is Giles's, your oldest comrade, 12 years. It started in the back alley of an inn in Hernand. You weren't a captain then. Giles was a sellsword. A fight broke out. The 2 of you fought on the same side. You finished the night drinking. Now Giles is being lowered into the earth. His face has been cleaned. We washed the charcoal-mixed blood, but the burn marks in his hair are permanent. As Marius lowered him, he paused for a moment, just for a moment. Maybe no one saw it. You saw it. Something moved in Marius's old face. Not pain, not grief, not anger. Something deeper. Being bereaved before the loss has been counted. Then Marius straightened. He started covering the earth. You are shoveling. Your back is bent. Your hand isn't trembling. 3 hours ago it was. Now it's stopped. You and your body have made a separate accounting. The word Giles couldn't say fell with him. What he was going to say, I will never know. Carrying this small unknowing until I die is the last gift he gave me. 7 graves are closed. Marius walks to the head of the grave. Greymane custom. The senior says one sentence over the dead. Then everyone repeats. And then we walk. Marius's voice doesn't rise above the rain. It runs with the rain. We do not mourn until justice is paid. Silence. Then Onka repeats it, barely louder than a whisper. Yan's voice trembles. He has lost a lot of blood. Even speaking is an effort. But he repeats it. Naira's voice is plain. Nothing in the tone breaks. 3 more seniors. Then you. Your voice didn't come at first. Something built in your throat. Not Something else. A door ready to close. Then your voice came. We do not mourn until justice is paid. When you said it, the door closed. Before you spoke, the door wasn't yours. The door closed, and you were inside. 7 graves, rain. No one stands by the graves. The grey mane set out toward a place where the count will be settled. You hang back for a moment. You don't look at the graves. Looking would be mourning. You set out. That was 3 months ago. For 3 months you have not said Giles's name out loud. You haven't said the other 6 names either. 7 names. 7 silent places in your head. The 3 months you've been in Hernand. When Sebastian pulled you out of the river, another story began. But the story that started that night in Pyloon did not end. Tonight you are going to end it. Tonight you are on a road. Tomorrow morning you will reach the border of Pyloon. The end of 3 months. The beginning of the count. But first, there is one night, a horse, a fire, and a story. A story you have not told even yourself. The morning of today, the southeast slope outside Hernand. Outside Marcus Allen's circus's tent, you are mounting your horse. The saddle is wet, it rained last night. Inside the tent a lamp is still burning. Marquis is up early. Maybe he is watching you leave. But he doesn't come outside. Greymane custom. The man who sets out is not given a final word. The journey speaks for itself. Marquis Circus knows this. Marquis Circus is not a Greymane. He is a Hernand Marquis. A man who in another life might have been a Greymane, but isn't. Still, he learned our customs. We sat with him for 3 months. We drank tea. We spoke little, listened much. When I asked him for Howling Hill, he nodded. He did not ask why. We don't speak our reasons. He doesn't ask for them. An understanding is built. Howling Hill, Greymane camp is behind me. Onka, Jan, Naira, Damien are there. They will move toward Pyloon one day after me. I am ahead, alone. Why alone? Jan asked me. Why on your own, Captain? My answer wasn't ready. I looked inside. There was no answer. But there was a feeling. Someone has to go first, the feeling said. A man has to go first, so that when the others arrive, the place is ready. What does ready mean? I don't know. Maybe just me going there, standing, waiting. For Jan, for Onka, for Naira, for Damien. Maybe this is what being a Greymane captain means. Nobody tells you this. One day you understand. Going first, then waiting. Half of your won battles are this. The horse goes forward. The green of the Hernand fields. On the horizon, the dark green of Peroran forest. No rain yet, but the sky is heavy. It will fall in the afternoon. The horse's footstep is a metronome of the telling. Soft on the mud, sharp on stone, almost no sound on the grass. The morning grass smells wet. Anand's particular smell, turned earth, broken grass, animal wool. faint smoke of a village bread oven somewhere far. Pyloon smells different. Pyloon is snow, pine, ash, iron. I've been riding through Hanand for 12 hours, and Pyloon is still in my nose. 3 months later, maybe the body remembers. Maybe our nose, our skin, our bone carries a smell for years. Maybe we are dead. Our body keeps us alive for years. My glove touches the saddle. The roughness of the leather is familiar. 3 months in the same glove, worn but not discarded. A grey mane discards his glove when he dies. Until then, he carries it. The horse has no name. Grey manes don't name their horses. An animal is an animal. If you name it, losing it is heavy. Giles told me this. I thought it. I didn't say it. Thinking isn't forbidden. Saying is forbidden. Around midday, I stop at a small stream. I water the horse. I don't drink. I have a flask tied to the saddle. The horse's water is different. The horse's right comes first. I crouch in the grass. I take Wolf's fang out. I lay it across the grass. I take a cloth out to wipe it. The cloth moves over the surface. The metal is cold but not cold. Warm but not warm. Something in between. Like a man. I wipe Wolf's fang every morning. Every evening. The 3 months. Jan wiped it every morning. Every evening. The 32 years. I don't use the same cloth. His cloth was buried with him. I bought a new cloth in Hanand, from a tailor's stall. The woman looked at me. Nothing changed in her face. She didn't ask the reason. She wrapped the cloth, took the money, lowered her head. The cloths are not the same. The motion is the same. Emotion passes from one man to another. A 32-year motion. I am 3 months. Maybe I'll be 32 years. Maybe I'll die tomorrow. Both are possible. The motion itself doesn't care. I fold the cloth. I put Wolf's fang back in its sheath. I'm just about to mount. The horse raises its head. Its ears prick forward. For 1 second it stops. Truly stops. It doesn't even breathe. I watch the horse. The horse heard something. I didn't. The horse hears better than me. Giles told me this too, on a hunting night 3 years ago. When the horse stops, you stop. The horse's ear is better than your eye. I stopped. I waited. 1 second, 2, 5. The air is silent. No rain yet, no bird song, no wind across the fields. My hand went to the sword grip. It wasn't told to go. It went on its own. Then a sound, far, 100 meters, maybe 2. Something between the trees. An animal. A deer, perhaps a fox, perhaps a wolf. But wolves are rare in Hanand now. A shadow appeared, then was gone. The horse calmed. It lowered its head, returned to grazing. I took my hand off the sword. A deer, I told myself. just a deer. My heart is still beating fast. My body remembers the ambush of 3 months ago. The body doesn't forget. The body sees black bears when it sees a deer. Years may clean this. They may not. Maybe you know this too. Hearing the wrong sound when you hear a sound. A bird becomes a weapon. A shadow becomes an enemy. A slamming door becomes a moment from years ago. Just for a second. The body knows. The body remembers. Maybe someone you loved died. And now you pause for a second at every phone ring. Same thing. It doesn't leave us. I mount the horse. I set out. Half an hour later, the horse moves forward on the soft grass. No rain yet, but the clouds are closing. Within an hour, it will start. 2 months ago, when I was at Hernand Castle, I spoke with a Loston. A Loston. Everyone thinks he's an alchemist. Bottles, herbs, powders. Marquis's guest. A man, his age is uncertain. His eyes are uncertain. His voice is gentle. When I first met him, I had just left Sebastian's house. I had reached the main road of Hernand. I wasn't telling anyone who I was yet. I wasn't even a grey mane yet. A man, a sword, a head full of memories. Marquis received me. Aloston was there. He recognized me. He said he didn't, but in the way he looked at me, there was something old. One night, in Marquis's garden, we were alone. He was drinking a glass of wine. It never finished that glass. An hour later, it was still at the same level. Maybe he wasn't drinking. Maybe the glass was a pitcher. Maybe I was seeing wrong. He told me this. The Greymane's purpose is not political, Captain. The political part is what people see. Uniting Pyloon, balancing the black bears, holding the borders. These are real, but only the shell. The real purpose is cosmic. Beneath Pyloon, beneath the surface, deep, there is a crack. What we call the abyss seeps into the world through that crack. The Greymanes were founded to keep that crack closed. Jian knew. His sword was forged for this. His oath was given for this. And now his burden is yours. I was silent. There were many things I wanted to ask. Who are you? Why me? What crack? What seeping? But Greymane custom. A man who does not ask questions has to look for the answers inside himself. Not asking is like not mourning. It closes a door. Then you find out for yourself what is behind it. I drank a glass of wine. I stood. I left. After that night, I never saw Aloston again. Marquis didn't ask what happened to him. Neither did I. Now I carry this sword, this burden. I'm not saying I understand. I don't know the crack beneath the world. I have never seen it, never felt it. But on some nights, at the campfire, sword beside me, horse far, stars above, I hear something not sleeping, far below, very deep. Something breathing. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe Jian would have said he was tired too. The 32 years. Fine rain. First invisible, then visible, then audible. On the leather of the saddle, on the horse's mane, on my glove. I love Hernand's rain. I don't love Pyloon's. Hernand's rain falls on the plain. It softens the earth. It greens the grass. It grows things. Pyloon's rain is like snow, cold, hard, falling from the mountain. In Pyloon, the only thing that grows is a man's tiredness. The horse's footsteps make a different sound in the rain. The rhythm has changed. The story's breath has changed. I am on the horse. Visibility has shrunk. 100 meters, then 50. The road is wet, but not yet mud. A memory comes, uncalled. Memories come to me like that. They aren't summoned, they intrude. 11 years ago, an inn in Hernand. No name, small inn. One room, one stove, one old innkeeper. Midnight. I was 25. Before I was a grey mane, just a sellsword. A man swinging a sword for pay. A fight had started. What for? I don't remember now. A card game, an insult, a woman. Or none of these, just late hours and drink. 3 men were on me, then a 4th. But the 4th was on my side. Giles. Giles didn't know me then. I didn't know Giles. Giles was just sitting in the inn, alone drinking. When he saw 3 men jump on a stranger, he stood. He didn't ask why, he just stood. The fight ended. 3 men on the ground, Giles and I on our feet. The innkeeper brought a bucket and a cloth to wipe the blood. Nothing was said. A moment something could have been said, but nothing was. Giles sat, brought 2 glasses. We drank. The first thing he said, "You're fighting, but you're not making war, lad. There's a difference. I'll show you." My face, I remember. For a moment I thought, why is this man saying this to me? Then I understood. He was giving me a gift, one of the smallest gifts a man can give another, telling him he can be more than he is being. We talked that night. The wine was low. His head was clear. My head was clear. A man knows the real motion of a fight. The motion isn't running from the enemy. It's not losing your own center. The enemy loses his body. You don't lose your center. The wine ran out. The innkeeper wanted to go to bed. We wouldn't give up. I told a story, my mother's story. A story about saving a cow in a Pyloon blizzard. A story told about my mother. But every detail I remembered was different from how it actually happened. Giles laughed at me. His laugh was wide. The inn heard it. The innkeeper grumbled. No one listened. Then Giles asked me, "Who are you, lad? Do you have a name?" I told him. I said my name. When I said it, I realized my name wanted to be known by a man. Until that moment, I had heard my name mostly when people paid for it. Tell that man Cliff, sellsword. But Giles had asked me. The asking is different. That night, Giles gave me a second thing. A man's name being asked by another. We had parted by morning, but 6 months later we met in another fight, on the same side, then another, then another. After the 5th fight, Giles said to me, "I think we're partners now, lad." One night later I heard the Grey Mane's name from him for the first time. After that we joined together. Giles was 36 then, 7 years older. I knew him for 11 years. What those 11 years were for me, hard to say. He wasn't a brother, he wasn't a father. A friend, in a way that the word doesn't quite cover. In the Grey Manes we say, family in all but name. family in everything except the name. Now Giles is in the earth. I am on a horse. The same rain. 11 years began with a fight in an inn. 3 months ago they ended with an arrow. Between us were 7 years. Now between us is earth. The rain calms on the horizon. The first silhouettes of Pyloon's mountains begin to appear. Far blue-grey. 2 hours to Naz River. Another memory, older. My father, Martinus, in the rain, sitting in the doorway of the barn, holding something in his hand, looking at me. I am small, 5, maybe 6. I don't remember what was in my father's hand. A tool, maybe a knife, maybe a piece wrapping a strap. I don't remember. What I remember is this. He was sitting in the rain, in the doorway of the barn, and he looked at me. He said something. I don't remember the sentence either, but I remember his look at me. A father looks at a son sometimes. There is no question in the look. There is no answer, only, you are there, I am here. And between us is something I cannot describe. But I know that when you grow up, you will remember this look. Or maybe you will forget it, and you will realize that you've forgotten something. The things we forget about our fathers are never small things. My father died when I was 12, in a Pyloon village. I became a grey mane later. I won't say the village's name. When I say it, the village becomes real. Now the village is a memory, and the memory is the village. As the years go by, my father's face fades. I don't remember his voice. I don't remember his walk. Only that rain, that barn, that look. Will I do this to my own son? I don't know. Maybe one day there will be, if I have a son, who in the rain one day remembers my look, has forgotten a sentence but remembers the look. Maybe that's enough. Afternoon. The rain has stopped. The clouds have not dispersed, only thinned. Cold. The horse's breath is visible. I come to a hill. If I leave the road, I'll see Naz River, half an hour ahead. I decide to leave the road. The main road doesn't cross the river. It crosses the bridge to the east. I am leaving the road. I am going to the river. Why? Because Naz River is something that belongs to me. 3 months ago that river took me in, then gave me back. Reaching Pyloon without going to it would be incomplete. The horse leaves the road, down the soft slope, between the trees, toward the sound of water. The river. The current is at medium speed. The water is dark, muddied by the rain. On the banks, stones, round, mossy. The rocks that fell from above seem to be resting on the bank. I dismount. I tie the horse to a tree, not tight. I leave a respectful slack for its neck. Grey mane custom. I walk to the bank. I crouch. I take a handful of water. I wash my face. Cold, colder than I expected. My hands have touched the water. 3 months ago this water took me in. Now it sits in my palm, disappears. I wash my face. The cold of the water touches my face. It reminds me of something, but I can't describe it. Maybe the water from 3 months ago. Maybe a stream I bathed in as a child. Maybe both are the same water. My reflection falls into the water. The current breaks it. A wavering face, eyes, beard, chin, brow. Familiar, but not familiar. Have you ever looked at your own face by looking into water? Maybe yesterday, maybe years ago. The face has always been a stranger's. In mirrors too. Does the man looking at the mirror know the man inside the mirror fully? Maybe knowing isn't the name of the thing. Maybe accompanying. You are there, I am here. We share the same body. As I look into the water, a memory. Tight, short, burning. 3 months ago, hills of no return. Mayurden and I face to face. The black bears had fallen on Pailoon. Jian was dead. The grey manes had scattered. I remained, captain, leader, wounded, tired. A jewel. I lost a jewel. Mayurden's axe lifted me into the air, threw me from the hill. Below, Naz River was flowing. As I fell, the last thing I heard was Mayurden's voice. Give Jian my regards. Then the fool, then the water, then darkness. That sentence has been in my head for 3 months. When I wake up, in my head. While I eat, in my head. On the horse, in my head. Now at the bank of this river, in my head. Give Jian my regards. Mayurden is the man who killed Jian. The moment he thought he was killing me too, he made a joke. Sent regards to a dead man. He thought I was a dead messenger. He was wrong. But every day for 3 months, when I think of that sentence, I think of one more thing. If I had really been dead in that moment, what would I have said to Jian? When I reached him, in the realm of the dead, or in the abyss, or wherever, what would I have said? Mayurden's regards? Or my own words? My own words weren't there. They still aren't. Maybe I'm going to Pailoon to find them. Maybe I don't even know this. You stay by the water for a moment. Your hand is in the river. The reflection breaks. Before we go further into this, I want to pause here for a moment. If this story is keeping you company tonight, if its rhythm feels right, please consider subscribing. This channel is small. Every listener matters to me. And tell me in the comments, where are you listening from tonight? What time is it where you are? I always like to know who else is awake, somewhere in the world while I'm telling this, or who is falling asleep. Either is good. If you have a world, a character, a game in mind for a next story, let me know. I read every comment. Now, back to the river, back to the man at its bank. You continue to look at the water. The current carries a leaf. 1, 2, 3, gone from sight. Another memory. The same river 3 months ago, the moment the current left a man on its bank. Sebastian, a man from a village near Wycliffe Mappery, Plain, not a fighter, not a lord, not a sellsword. A fisherman, perhaps a farmer, perhaps both. He pulled me out of the river. He didn't ask the reason, I didn't ask his. A man pulls a man out of water, doesn't seek a reason. He carried me to his house, Sebastian's house. 1 floor, stone walls, yellow flowers grown by the windows. The flowers were planted by his wife. His wife died 2 winters ago of illness. Sebastian hadn't said, but one evening I had noticed. The flowers still grow. Sebastian still waters them. The small loyalty of a man. Inside, a son, around 11 years old. His name is missing from my memory now. He said it perhaps, but it doesn't come now. The boy looked at me, did not flinch. Children are sometimes much less afraid than grown-ups. Adults add the fear of living. Children haven't added it yet. The house smelled, the smell of bread. Sebastian had risen early, lit the oven. He took out a loaf. I was in bed, half fainting. The smell of the bread woke me, not fully. It opened a corridor between a dream and reality. Maybe I am still in that corridor. 3 months later, the boy brought a bowl of soup to the bedside, a cloth on top. He lifted the cloth. The steam hit my face. "Drink," he said. Plain. In the soup something was. Dried root vegetable, a piece of meat, perhaps a piece of cabbage. Hot, salty, homemade. A recipe left from the hand of a woman. Sebastian was trying to make it. The boy was helping. Not perfect, but right. I drank. My body responded. Heat, salt, liquid. For a second I forgot who I was. Just a man, drinking a bowl of soup. 3 days at Sebastian's house. Few conversations. I was half fainting. Sebastian was a silent man. The boy was curious but respectful. On the 3rd day I could speak. The first thing I said, "What's your name?" "Sebastian," he said. "And yours?" I thought a long time before answering. Because until that moment, I had heard my name mostly when people paid for it. "Tell that man Cliff, sellsword." But Sebastian had asked me. Cliff, captain of the Greymanes. When he heard it, his face didn't change, as if I had said the name of a sellsword. A sailor, a smith, a farmer. To him it was the same. A man was a man. Not the title, the name was important. Remembering this felt good. The boy wanted me to tell a story that night. I couldn't lie. "I have no story," I said. "Do you know where my story ends? At the bottom of a river, where your father pulled me out. And before that, there isn't a story either. Stories are told by the ones you love. The ones I loved are in the earth." The boy nodded. I don't think he understood, but he did the act of understanding. That too is a gift. A child doing the act of understanding. On the 5th day I left, Sebastian gave me a saddle, old but sturdy. He didn't take money. I didn't say I couldn't pay. As I left, the boy stood at the door. He didn't look at me. I didn't look at him either. Sometimes that's how you part. My reflection in the water slowly fades. I rise, my hand is wet. I wipe it on my trousers. I look at the horse. The horse's neck is bent, eating grass. Evening is approaching. The sun is behind clouds, but the descent can be felt. The light is gold. 4 o'clock, maybe 5. I'll reach the Palin border tomorrow. If I keep going tonight, I'll reach a campsite, a hill slope, the shadow of trees, a place to light a fire. 5 kilometers perhaps. Tie the horse, light the fire, brew the soup, spread the blanket. These are the things I have done for 3 months, always in the same order. A man's evening is built by habits. Without habit, the night would be a chasm. The man would fall in. I mount the horse. I leave the river. I return to the road. I move between the trees. As the horse walks, I think of Wolf's Fang. The sword is beside the saddle in its sheath. The grip shows, grey, plain, old. Wolf's Fang. The Palin craftsman forged it. 200 years ago, maybe 3. The count is uncertain because the record's burned. The black bears once started a fire. The entire Palin library. The records of where the old metal came from. The black bears like to burn. To burn is to erase memory. But I said it wrong. To burn is to formalize memory. What burns becomes legend. The legend is this. One night a stone fell from the sky onto Palin's northern mountains. Not a star. Stars don't fall. In Erdava's belief, stars are dead dragons. But that's another tradition, Palin's tradition. In Palin, the stone that falls from the sky is a mineral. It has no name, only one that came from the sky. 3 craftsmen climbed the mountain. They found the stone, half buried in the earth, half in the air. They dug. 3 days they struggled. The stone was large but light. Its weight was different from normal stone. Inside it was something else. They carried it down. They began to melt it. As they melted, one craftsman died. A flame came out of the stone, touched him, charred him. The other 2 continued, because in Palin, work is not left half done. Half done work turns into a ghost. The ghost takes the craftsman's tools, finishes the work itself at night, kills whoever approaches in the morning. Old story. The 2 craftsmen finished. A sword, plain, hilted, sheathed, polished. No mark on it. Palin metal does not take a mark. It is a mark in itself. They named it Wolf's Fang, because Palin's symbol is the wolf, the old howling wolves of Howling Hill. The fang is the weapon closest to the wolf. The sword passed to a leader's hand. I will not say his name, because that leader could not hold the sword in the end. In Palin they say, Wolf's Fang chooses only one who can carry justice and resolve. From those who are unworthy, it leaves, falls to the ground, is lost, is stolen, then comes to another. For 100 years it changed hands. In the end it came to Jian. Jian lived with it for 32 years. The sword did not leave him. When Jian died, the sword did not fall to the ground. Naira found it. She was the only senior who escaped the ambush. She took the sword. After I left Sebastian's house, on the day I began to set up Greymane Camp, she brought it to me. Naira came that day. I had climbed Howling Hill, I was alone on the slope sitting under a tree, an old grey main tent beside me, brought from Hernand. Naira came up the slope, bow on her shoulder, wolf's fang in her hand, horizontal, carried with two hands. The sword wasn't her sword, and the way she carried it said so. She came up to me, knelt opposite me, laid the sword on the ground, then placed her hand on the ground, then bowed her head. "This is yours now," she said. I didn't want to take it. I told her my voice may have come, may not have. Maybe I only thought it. I don't want to take it. This sword isn't mine. I'm not Jian. I'm a captain. He's Shadow. Naira raised her head. Naira's face, hard to describe. She grew up in the forest. As a child, she waited for birds. Since she was 12, to learn archery. One who has waited is not refused. Naira waited for me with her look. Then she said, "You are not Jian, true, but Jian is gone now. Someone has to carry it. The Greymanes don't live without this sword. Our comrades want to see it in your hand. I want to see it in your hand." I didn't wait to answer. Waiting was meaningless. Naira was right. The Greymanes wouldn't live without this sword. Someone had to carry it. I took it. Naira stood. The sword was mine. She left down the slope. I wanted to say one more thing to her. I didn't say it. What I didn't say, I don't know what it was. Maybe thanks, maybe an apology, maybe a word that even in that moment, words were empty. I don't know if Naira understood or didn't understand, but Naira is a woman who has learned silence the way she learned waiting. Leaving, she didn't turn back once. She looked at me once, short, fast, then gone. In that look there was something. I cannot describe it. Evening. The sun has set, cold but not freezing. On the horizon, the first silhouettes of Pailoon's mountains are visible. Far blue-grey. No snow yet, but shadows in the valleys. I find a hill slope, an old camp mark, a fire pit, a little overgrown grass. Could be a Greymane sign, could be another sellswords, doesn't matter. A camp is a camp. I untie the horse, tie it to a tree, tighter this time. The night is cold. I take the saddle off, pull out the blanket, take out my pack, bowl, spoon, dried meat, dried vegetable, a bag of flour, Pailoon-style soup ingredients. I approach the fire pit. Old coal remains. Someone passed through here, perhaps a week ago, perhaps a month. I light a new one. Lighting a fire is one of 3-month rituals. First dry grass, then thin twig, then a slightly larger branch, then flame, then waiting. A fire is not lit fast. A fire is lit with patience. The firemaker who hurries gets lost in the smoke. Giles told me this too. One winter night, we were south of Hernand before a siege. We had hours. We were lighting a fire in a shelter. I didn't say his name. I thought it. Thinking isn't forbidden. The fire catches. First a soft flame, then it grows. The pit surroundings light up. I spread the blanket, sit on it. I take the bowl. A handful of dried meat, dry, salty, little. Some flour, dried vegetable, root, A piece of cabbage, a little onion peel, water. I put the pot on the fire, waiting. The soup brews. The first smell, steam rises. Salt, root, meat, Pyloon smell. A smell the body knows. This soup's recipe is from my mother. When my mother was alive, when I was 8, 10, she would make this soup. With winter stores. Pyloon's winter is long. The 3 months meat may not be eaten. Vegetables disappear. Only mother's soup remains. A bowl of cold soup, heated through frozen air, eaten with bread. The bread always a little dry. Fresh bread is a luxury in winter, but the soup is hot. I take the first spoonful, blow on it, taste. The warmth touches my tongue. Salt, root, meat, combined. Different from how my mother made it. What came out of my mother's hand was something else. The recipe is the same. The hand is different. My mother died when I was 14, 2 years after my father. In winter, of an illness. In the village, everyone was dying of something that year. There was no doctor. An old woman was working with herbs. As I remember, she helped, didn't help, I don't know. My mother's last word was not to me. Saying this is still heavy. She lay for 3 days. I was beside her. In the end, in the last hours, she woke. She looked at me, but she said her word to my father. My father had been in the earth for 2 years. My mother was calling him. Martinez, I'm coming. And she closed her eyes. There was no last word for me. I thought about this for many years. Why wasn't it for me? I was beside her. The thing that should come from her eye was supposed to be me. Then I understood, years later. When a man's mother dies, the last word is generally not to the child. The last word is a long ago conversation, said once, said many times. My mother had said what she would say to me, said it for years. With my father there was a contract cut 2 years before. She was going to complete it. I reached my mother. Seeing the end is a gift. Not getting a word, another gift. Maybe big, maybe small, but a gift. Maybe you have lived this too. The last word of a loved one was not to you, or there was no last word at all. Someone died in their sleep. Someone died far away. You weren't there. This is a small crack. You carry it for years. Sometimes it closes, sometimes it doesn't. When it doesn't, maybe it isn't supposed to close. Maybe that crack is your bond with them, kept open. A continuous crack with someone gone. Not always a bad thing. Sometimes a bridge. I put the spoon down. For a moment, I don't eat the soup. Then I continue. I finish the soup, clean the bowl, a handful of snow, a cloth. These two are rituals, 3 months old. The fire is still burning. The flame has lit up. The night is cooled. Another memory. A night in Hernand, 2 months ago. Jan was drunk at Grey Main Camp. The camp was newly set up, perhaps a month old. We would sit by the fire in the evenings. That night Jan had drunk too much. Hernand's red, a strong wine, as much as a sellsword's pay. Onka had gone to bed early. Naira was on watch, just me and Jan at the fire. Jan began to speak. Jan speaks when drunk, as much as he is silent when sober. Drunk he speaks. Maybe a man has two faces, or maybe one face has two voices. Captain, he said. When Jan says captain, Jan is serious. What, Jan? I want to mourn, Captain. The 3 months I've wanted to. I can't. The custom forbids it. I love our custom, Captain, but I want to mourn. I was silent. Jan continued. The words ran together. The drink had its effect too. A sentence for Giles, a sentence for Marius. Marius hadn't died in that ambush. Marius is still alive. But Jan said his name too, because Marius too one day would die. And Jan couldn't mourn him either. He knew this. Then other names, from Jan's life, from fights, dead comrades, who knows how many. Mourning is tiring, Captain. Not mourning is more tiring. Which is more tiring, Captain? You don't know, do you? I don't know either. I was still silent. What could I have said to him? There was a sentence in my head. I wanted to say it. I didn't say it. I don't know, Jan. The 3 months I haven't known either. I didn't say it because a captain doesn't say what he doesn't know. A captain plays a role of being all right for 3 months. His comrades watch him. As long as the captain holds, they hold. Jan fell asleep eventually. By the fire, I brought a blanket, covered him. In the morning when he woke, he didn't remember. Jan forgets his drunk memories in the morning. I knew this, but looking at him this morning, a little different. Jan doesn't remember, but I do. What he said to me one night, not mourning is more tiring, stays with me. Jan says he doesn't remember. Maybe he really doesn't. Maybe he remembers and acts as if he forgot, because remembering is heavy for him, and his body doesn't know the difference between acting forgetful and being forgetful. The one who remembered became me, is not being able to mourn. I carried for 3 months. A captain does this, carrying what his comrades can't carry. When a comrade can't mourn, the captain carries the mourning. This isn't written in the grey main custom, but it is true. The fire shrinks. I throw a piece of wood on. The flame rises again. Another memory. This time not uncooled. This time I am summoning it. For the first time in 3 months. To look at the full memory of the ambush night. Because Jan couldn't mourn. Because Onkar couldn't mourn. Because Naira couldn't mourn. Because Marius couldn't mourn. Because 7 graves were unmourned. Tonight I will look, for the first time, fully. The morning under the rain. The 7 graves. Marius's oath. My own voice. We do not mourn until justice is paid. But this time I am looking from outside. My inner voice. 3 months later, by the fire. Tired. Marius said that oath. The oath is a grey main oath. Old. 32 years ago, Gian had said it. Over another grave after another ambush. Maybe it had been said 100 years before. Maybe 200. The oath is right. Mourning is held until justice is paid. This is right. But one more thing is right. What I have carried for 3 months. The word Giles couldn't say. The word Jan couldn't remember. The look Naira gave me. Unkar's mouth that wouldn't open. My mother's last sentence to Martinez. All of them behind the same door. The door is closed by the oath of mourning. But behind the door, something is growing. Not mourning is also a kind of mourning. The slowest kind. The one that lives in the body, in the bones, in the muscle, in the windpipe. The one that keeps you awake when you can't sleep. The one that makes mornings hard. I take Wolf's fang. I lay it before me. In the firelight the metal shines. The sword the Paloon craftsman forged. Justice and resolve. Justice and resolve. 2 words. This sword chooses a man who can carry those 2. But does this sword choose another thing also? Mourning. In Paloon nobody said this. Maybe they said it in places I didn't hear. Can a sword carry mourning? Can a sword mourn? Maybe it carries. Maybe this sword for 32 years carried what Jian could not mourn. Now it is passed to me. I am also on the side of the unable to mourn. I swore not to mourn. My body is mourning for me. Through my sleeplessness, through 3 months of tiredness, through the sentence I tell myself for the first time tonight. We do not mourn until justice is paid. The oath is right, but tomorrow when I reach Paloon, when justice is paid, if it is paid, will mourning begin? Or has the thing growing behind the door for 3 months no longer become mourning, but something else? Maybe delaying mourning changes mourning. Justice is paid, but mourning is no longer just mourning. It is something else, compressed, aged, having waited behind the door for years. Something the body refuses to receive when it comes out. My inner voice softens. Something is breaking. A 3-month stone. My eyes don't fill. Cliff Greymane, they don't fill. But something inside me descends. I look at the fire. The fire trembles in my eye. Maybe you know this too. A loss you couldn't mourn, by custom or by work. Or because you had children to tend, or because your body wouldn't allow it. 3 months, 3 years, 30 years. Then one night, an unexpected night, the door stirs. You look at what's behind it. Maybe a great deal, maybe nothing at all. Both are true, both will surprise you. Both in the end are not yours. They belong to the door itself. Mourning is less ours than we think. It lives in its own body. I look at the fire for some time. Quiet. Then I raise my head. The sky has cleared. The clouds dispersed. Stars are visible. Another memory. Plain. Jian, the captain's last week before he died at 32. At Pailoon Castle. Greymanes all together. 14 plus Jian. An evening meal, meat, root vegetable, bread. I was the 7th senior at that table, last on the list. Jian at the head of the table, not speaking, Jian rarely spoke, drinking a glass of wine, his face tired, the face of a man who had held Pailun for 32 years. The meal ended. The others rose. I was about to rise too. Jian stopped me, a hand gesture. "Sit, Cliff." I sat. He didn't say anything to me for a long time. He drank wine. I waited. Then he said, "You don't know how to mourn, Cliff." He looked at my face. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know what to say. The first thing I said was foolish. "It's our custom, Captain." "I know our custom, lad. I'm telling you the rule. You don't know how to mourn. The custom is a cover for this. The custom told me this over many years. But you're different. You're afraid of mourning." I was silent. "One day," Jian said, "one day you'll learn. If you don't, this sword isn't yours. Do you understand?" I didn't understand. "No, Captain." "Good. Not understanding is a beginning. One day you will understand." He finished his wine. He stood. He left. 1 week later, the black bears killed Jian. Wolfsfang came to me through Naira, and Jian's sentence, right now by this fire 3 months later, is heard again. Maybe Jian knew me. Maybe he knew this sword would come to me. He had decided this 6 months before, maybe a year. Did he tell Naira? I don't know. Naira never said. Maybe Jian's last gift to me, the last word he didn't say, was this sentence: "You are afraid of mourning." Maybe my arrival at Pailun tomorrow is not just for justice. Maybe one more reckoning. Jian's reckoning. The justice of his death, yes, but also the reckoning of the sentence he last spoke to me. Tomorrow will I really be a man, one who has learned to mourn, or still someone unworthy of this sword? I don't know, but tomorrow I will know. The fire is near out, only embers. I am under the blanket, my back to the fire, my face to the sky. Stars. Howling Hill, the place I left 2 days ago, the hill where Grey Main Camp was set. Now Unka, Yan, Naira, Damien are there. Tomorrow they set out, to Pailun, where I will arrive tomorrow. The name, Howling Hill. The old story, once on this hill every night the wolves gathered. All the wolves of the area, from Parorin Forest, from the Witchwoods, from Hernand Highlands. They came together on the hill, then they howled. Howling together, not one wolf, a chorus. The chorus was heard far. When bandits heard the sound, they stayed away from villages. Because if there were so many wolves, there must be prey nearby, and a bandit was not made for hunting wolves. So the people of the region loved the wolves, showed them respect, did not hunt them. When needed, they laid out meat on the hill for the wolves. Along the Pailun border, wolves and humans lived under a kind of agreement. They didn't interfere with each other. Then time passed. The wolves grew few. Why they grew few, no one knows. Perhaps a sickness. Perhaps hunting from other regions. Perhaps simply the wolves left. Animals leave sometimes. The reason is not always known. Now the hill is called Howling Hill. But there is no howling. The name remained. The wolves left. Our symbol is the wolf, the grey manes, on Umka's axe, on Naira's bow, on Yan's saddle, on my glove, a small wolf head mark. The name of this sword is Wolf's Fang. Or returning to an animal we have returned to. Gone, long gone. Maybe one day the grey manes will be the same. The name will remain. We will be gone. Jian didn't say this. Marius wouldn't say it. This sentence is only mine. Tonight, by this fire, born for the first time in my head. Maybe morning works that way. Late-born sentences, meanings that come after. As a child once, in our village at the foot of the mountain, I heard a sound from far. From bed I could hear it, through the wall. My mother was in the next room talking with my father, in low voices. The sound came from far from the mountain, as if a corridor had found its way. A chorus, more than one, 5, 10, who counts? The sound of wolves. My father said something that night, to me or to my mother. A word. I don't remember the word, but what I remember is this. My father did not fear that sound when he heard it. From the next room I heard his breath, calm. My mother asked, "Martinus?" There was a small concern in her voice. My father said, "It passes, they are above." In Pylun that's a saying, wolves on the mountain. Then he said something else to my mother. I don't remember it. My mother laughed lightly. The conversation moved to something else. The sound continued for some time, then stopped. I slept. When my father heard that sound that night, he didn't fear. I remember this. I haven't forgotten. My father, Martinus, was not a sellsword. He was just a man. He worked as a smith in the village. Maybe he had been in a fight once, maybe a few times, but he was not a fighter. But he didn't fear when he heard the wolves. Because my father knew the agreement, the Pylun agreement, wolf and man. We don't interfere with each other. They above, we below. Neither rises one night onto the other. Perhaps that's why I never feared the wolves. As a child, though, I was not told. My body learned from my father to not fear. My father feared other things. He didn't speak of them either. The fears of silent men are silent fears, wordless but real. My father died after a fight, a reckoning, because he protected a man I didn't know. He stepped in for him. The blade reached him. He died one day later. I was 12 then. 30 years passed. For 30 years, not a day passed without me thinking of my father. Once, in the morning when I rose, when I drew sword in a fight, when I remembered my mother's last word, when I lit fire, when I put fire out. I couldn't mourn my father. A son of 12 doesn't know how to mourn. My mother did the mourning, or wasn't doing it, but I didn't see. 2 years later, my mother died. I couldn't mourn her either. From shock, from age, from helplessness. Then I joined the grey manes, our custom, mourning when justice is paid. Justice was never paid for my mother and father. Who would pay it? For an illness and a fight, who answers? Morning never began. 30 years later, still behind the door. Maybe you know, a loss you couldn't mourn. What age, what reason, doesn't matter. 30 years later, still behind the door. You walk past the door some nights. You know there's something there. You don't open it. If you opened it, what would come out? You don't know. Maybe a great deal, maybe nothing, but you don't open it. And this is also a kind of bond. Not opening is also a way of loving a man. The fire is out, only embers. I am under the blanket. Above me, the sky. Stars, Pyloon stars. Tomorrow these stars will be in Pyloon, the same stars. These stars are the stars from 3 months ago, the night of the ambush. Stars do not change. Maybe that's why a man looks at stars. The only unchanging, the only faithful. Tomorrow I arrive at Pyloon. Unka, Jan, Naira, Damien will follow me one day after. Marius is still in Hernand, but on the next road he too. We will all return to Pyloon. The earth we lost 3 months ago, the customs we lost, the friends we lost. The reckoning will be paid. I will face Myadin again. This time, perhaps, I will bring him down. Perhaps I will not. But tonight, what did I do tonight? Tonight I mourned, for the first time, without saying it, without making a sound, by the fire, without making it known even to myself. I mourned for Giles, for Gian, for my mother, for my father, for those who have names and those who don't, all of them, for 7 graves, the 30 years of door. I couldn't mourn fully. Full mourning requires the body's full pulling. I only opened the door for a second, then closed it again. Maybe that's enough. Maybe mourning starts that way, a 1-second opening. Then the door closes. Then one day another second, then another. Maybe mourning will be like this for the rest of my life. Second-long openings, under the stars, by the fire, with a horse sleeping beside me. When a memory comes, when I don't have to send it back. Maybe this is what Gian wanted to tell me. One day you'll learn. Maybe this is what I have learned. Not full, but a beginning. My eyes are starting to close. Tired. Tomorrow's road is heavy. Tonight I must rest. But one more sentence. Only one. Tomorrow, Pyloon. Tonight, this road ends here. Justice tomorrow. Morning. Morning has already started. I didn't know. Now I know. For tomorrow the sword is ready. The motion is ready. The hand is ready. For tonight, only the stars. Tomorrow, Pyloon. Tonight, the road ends here. And that that's where we leave Cliff tonight. At a fire that has burned down to embers, beneath stars he can finally see again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying with him through this long night. So, Crimson Desert. I'd been hearing about this game for a long time. People kept saying the same thing, that the world was beautiful, that exploring it was its own reward. After 3 hours tonight, I understand what they meant. Pywell really does feel alive. The wind moves through the grass. The water reacts to you. Birds scatter when you walk near them. You climb to the top of a hill, and you can see for miles, actual miles. Every detail rendered. Every place you could walk to if you wanted. There's a quiet in this game that I didn't expect. The sound design is doing something special. Bonfires crackle, trees rustle, a horse's hooves change sound depending on what you ride over. I read someone compare the music to Howard Shore's work on Lord of the Rings, and I think they were right. There's something cinematic in it, bombastic when it needs to be, but mostly restful. I made some mistakes tonight, like I said I would. Walked the wrong way more than once. Thought something I probably shouldn't have. But that's part of it. Discovery is part of it. If you've been waiting on this one, I think it's earned its reputation. The world is the kind that rewards you for slowing down, which makes it maybe a perfect game for nights like this. If this story kept you company tonight, if Cliff's last camp gave you something, please consider subscribing. This channel is small. Each one of you matters to me. A like helps the next tired listener find their way here. And in the comments, tell me, where are you listening from tonight? What time is it where you are? I love knowing who else is awake somewhere in the world while I'm telling these, or who's already asleep. If you have a world, a character, a game you'd like us to visit next, let me know. I read every comment, even the ones I can't always answer. I'm going to keep playing for a while now. If you'd like to stay and watch, or just have the sound in the background while you fall asleep, you're welcome here. If you're already asleep, good night, friends. If you're still awake, enjoy the quiet. Until next time, however you use this place, you're welcome here.
showed me back then will guide you on your path. Here, take these wings. The power to soar through the open skies is yours to command. It's time to return.
You're telling me Thanks too if you bring in the bastards. Greetings. You're starting to annoy me. What? You pissing me off? How am I meant to sort out this? How am I meant to pick up a weapon and fight now? Just talking to myself. Pay me no mind. I've been working at the Count's estate for over 10 years now, and for the first time, his stores have been raided by bandits. He's absolutely furious with me.
Which bandits?
Those troublemakers in red, always causing trouble they are. They're lurking all over the Count's estate lately. Stuart's been run ragged trying to keep track of them. Now that I think of it, where's he got to? He was supposed to tell the Lord how hard I've been working.
Keep well. Grilling it is the simplest and tastiest way.
Am I supposed to say to the Lord? What's going on? You hear about the bandits? If not, I must ask you to leave. More than enough on my plate at the moment. Please tell me. Those troublemakers keep sneaking onto the Count's land. God cannot bring them to heel. Are you up to the task? Yes. You have a death wish or something? Oh, very well. Some of them are holed up in the Cascars. We can start there. You can deal with them. I'll take them to the Lord myself.
certainly look the part. I'll get straight to the point. I have another request for you. If you're willing to take it on, that is.
What's going on?
It's much the same as what you've done already. The same scum you handled before, you see. Some of them are still hanging about in my family's quarry. No idea what they're bloody looking for. Vile curs. What do you say? Chase them off. Help me reclaim my quarry. You'll get a handsome reward.
All right. You're a surprise. Keep your weapon sheathed. It'll get on just fine.
Pleased to meet you. Ah, hello. Are you looking for someplace quiet? Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Care for a hot meal or a mug of ale? All are welcome under my roof. Sit. Hope you stop by again soon.
Do we have another challenger? can't possibly be scared.
Do you need something, perhaps?
Well, fuck you.
through the